my name is Maggie McGrath. I'm the editor of Forbes Women and one of the editors of our list of the world's 100 most powerful women. This list is an accounting of who holds power around the world. We look at politicians and business leaders, venture capitalists, investors, philanthropists, entertainment, stars like Taylor Swift and Oprah Winfrey. This is the first time in 16 years that Angela Merkel is not the Chancellor of Germany. She has ranked at the top of the power list for 15 of the now 18 years we have done this list. But last year, she said she wouldn't run for re-election, and this week, the week that we're publishing the list, she officially hands the reins over to her successor. So she cannot be number one. That created such an interesting moment for us to redefine power, to reevaluate the list and look at how is each woman using her position of power? How is she using her public platform, her voice, her fortune to change the world? And what we came down on is that no person has more autonomy over her wealth and desire to do something with it and ability to do something with it than billionaire Mackenzie Scott. MacKenzie Scott made her debut on the list last year, and because we didn't quite know yet what her track record in philanthropy would be, she was not in the top 10. She is the ex-wife of Jeff Bezos. Some people used to know her as Mackenzie Bezos, but she changed her last name. She received a quarter of Jeff Bezos' Amazon stake. She was actually there in the founding days of the company. She was doing accounting. She helped negotiate freight contracts. There are people who say that Mackenzie Scott deserved more than a quarter of Jeff Bezos' Amazon shares. I think Mackenzie herself might say that her $58 billion fortune, it depends on what Amazon stock is doing each day. We have her at 57 billion right now. I think she would say that's enough because she's trying to give it away. Almost immediately after the divorce was announced in 2019, Mackenzie signed the Giving Pledge, which is a promise that wealthy people sign to give away at least half of their wealth. Mackenzie immediately got to giving. In 2020, last year, she gave away more than $5 billion, and she did it entirely on her own. She has some outside advisors from a nonprofit advising group. She's gotten remarried, so her husband has signed the Giving Pledge with her, but she kind of just pops up on Medium, writing a post about the 270 or 280 nonprofits, gives them money and tells them, do with it what you will. She wants them, the nonprofits, to use the money however they best see fit. She has donated to historically Black colleges and universities around the country, YMCA organizations and community service and support organizations. She's donated to arts and culture organizations, including dance companies for underrepresented communities. She's funded, along with Melinda French Gates, the gender equity pitch competition. She's really looking at the causes that will push society forward and change the world. Coming in at number 2 is American Vice President Kamala Harris. Last year, she was number 3 when she was Vice President-elect, but now that she has officially been sworn into office and is the first woman, first Black woman, first Asian American woman in the vice presidency, that she has power, but it's not unfettered power. She has a boss, President Joe Biden. Coming in at number 3 is Christine Lagarde. She leads the European Central Bank, setting monetary policy for the European Union. She is a consistent presence on this list because before she ran the ECB, she was the head of the International Monetary Fund. Rounding out the top 5 are Mary Barra, the CEO of General Motors, and she is about to become the first female head of the Business Roundtable, a very powerful business group in America. And number 5 is Melinda French Gates. Now Bill Gates' ex and a billionaire in her own right, she is the co-chair of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Unlike Mackenzie Scott, she works with her ex in her charitable work, in the foundation work, and she has said that if she and Bill do not get along over the next 2 years, she will be the one to step away from the foundation. One of the quirkier elements of this year's list, if you can call it that, is we have a tie for the first time since I began editing it. At number 42 are JP Morgan co-CEOs of global consumer banking, Marianne Lake and Jennifer Pipsack. I talked to Wall Street analysts to try to figure out, like, okay, who's really in charge? Everyone knows that with a co-CEO deal, there's someone who actually has the power and someone else is more of a figurehead. And based on the reporting I did, they share equal power, they command equal respect, and they have equal chances of succeeding Jamie Dimon as CEO of JP Morgan, along with a few other candidates. It's for that reason that we listed them at number 42 in a tie. We did not want to make a judgment call because we cannot read those tea leaves. They are both powerful and they both deserve to be on this list. In creating this list, we looked at women who are shaping finance, technology, politics around the world. And entertainment is a big category for us. After all, how much time have we all spent at home on our devices, reading, watching, binging, all sorts of stories and entertainment? It is for that reason that Nigerian media mogul Mo Abudu is on our list this year. She started Ebony Life TV, a network that is now in more than 49 countries across Africa, in 2006. She recently struck a lucrative streaming deal with Netflix, a first for an African media company. And she is really affecting and powering the state of entertainment consumption in Nigeria and beyond. She's number 98 on this year's list. Every year, we also look to include someone who is representative as commanding soft power. They are someone with a voice and who recognize that they have the ability to wield that voice. This year, number 100 went to Frances Haugen. She's the woman who blew the whistle on Facebook, disclosing thousands of documents about her former company and the way they regulate or don't hate speech on the platform, misinformation, and also data surrounding the way that young girls interact with Instagram and how that affects their mental health and well-being. Her testimony on national media, in front of Congress, in front of EU delegations, it has been earth-shattering, honestly. People have called it groundbreaking and game-changing, and lawmakers are considering greater regulation of Facebook and big tech as a whole, in large part because of what she has disclosed. So Frances Haugen is not traditionally powerful, but she has had a tremendous influence on 2021 and is therefore on our list. Other women to watch include Min Young Kim. She's Netflix's vice president of content for Asia Pacific, but more importantly, she was the executive responsible for bringing Squid Game to your screens. So she is influencing culture tremendously. So are people like Chinese stand-up comedian Yang Li and actress, writer, producer, creator Michaela Cole. She won an Emmy for I Will Destroy You, but what we really liked to see were the words of wisdom and instruction almost that she left the next generation of women in her Emmy acceptance speech. She had said, "Write the tales that scare you, that make you feel uncertain, that is uncomfortable. I dare you." And that's what I love about the women on the rise and the women on the power list. They're all daring. They're all taking chances to try to leave their mark on the world. There are so many women who have positions of power and influence and who are gaining power every day. We look at the list in late fall every year, and there is eventually a cutoff. If you're looking at this list and you're not seeing someone who recently became the CEO of a big company or who became the president or prime minister of a fascinating country, it's not that we don't value their work, it's that we want to see what they do with their power. Because ultimately, this list is an accounting of power and what people are doing with it. There are wealthy women on this list, but it is not a carbon copy of America's richest self-made women or even a list of the women from the Forbes 400. You have to be doing something with your resources, with your fortune, with your voice. And that's what unifies the women of the world's 100 most powerful women list.